Hello, everyone. It's me, Dr. Messina Morris, better known as Dr. Mom or Molder of Minds. And I am here going live to debrief on the conversation that I had the privilege of speaking at today with the Atlanta University Center Library, Woodruff Library. So I had an opportunity to talk about innovation and open scholarship and how important it is for us as academics to participate in open scholarship. It was part of a larger conversation. Now, my particular talk evolved into, I'm going to just show you a few different things. And I kind of want to just give you an idea of what we were talking about. I learned so much. My colleagues, Dr. Aaron Carter Inye, as well as Dr. King at Clark Atlanta in sociology, and also the deputy director of the data science program, had some amazing, amazing ideas that they did. I'm going to just share my entire screen and my audio so that you all can hear it. So my talk was about open scholarship being the key to innovation. So obviously I introduced myself, and we would end up talking about the hidden cost of closed research, how open results accelerate impact. We talked about practical strategies for openness, and then there was Q&A at the end. So I introduced myself as Dr. Messina Morris and what my work does. It lives at the intersection of extended reality, artificial intelligence, and open scholarship, where I create learning environments where access and innovation thrive together. And I wanted to challenge how we think about research and data. We are driven by information, closed systems slow progress, but openness fuels discovery. And I publish my results publicly, basically how I'm doing now, primarily on social media through vlogs, through blogs, through op-eds, through articles that I do because I'm being interviewed. But I do that because I want the results to allow us to move the needle forward faster. And I have to move fast as tech. And tech iterates every single day. If you just check your phone or a program that is your favorite software, you will, or an app, you will notice that there is an update nearly every day that you have to do to keep up with the iterations of progress. And so this is a way for me to debrief what I know and what I have learned as I'm moving as fast as tech with the public. And I believe that when you lock away knowledge, it's not helpful for anybody. So transparency actually accelerates impact. And since I was in the Atlanta University Center, speaking to faculty and staff at Clark Atlanta University, my alma mater, Morehouse College, the place that I work now, Clark Atlanta, Spelman College, and Morris Brown College, as well as Morehouse School of Medicine, there were people from every single discipline in the room. And that was really encouraging because we got to really discuss and talk about things that were pertinent. If you don't know who I am, the video about me
As a
that Meta
child, I
did,
had
and I
these
think
big,
that it was
grandiose ideas
absolutely
of
amazing.
being someone that was going to change people's lives. My oldest brother had meningitis at the age of 4, and it left him brain damaged. It was difficult being a sibling to a special needs child. So my imaginative play was always, how can I find a cure for my brother? That led me down a pathway through science and I discovered chemistry. As a biomolecular chemist and metaversity director at Morehouse College, I am really an integrative chemist. That means that I will use any type of instrument, software, technology to solve a problem. When the MetaQuest 2 came out, we had an opportunity to demo a synchronous learning campus, and that totally transformed the way that we teach. We have a digital twin of our chemistry lab, which is really cool because they can start the experiment in virtual reality and just walk through all of the steps that it would take to be effective in the lab. You learn how to grab the spheres, yes. They could hold a molecule in their hand, or they could make it as large as the room and walk the bond. And so bringing that molecular world to life redefined how students actually accepted the information because they could visualize it.
Norman, I'm about to join you.
No longer can you go back to just sitting in a lecture hall and disseminating information to students. Students want an opportunity to engage with the material.
High five me. You felt that?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Right?
Virtual reality really lowers the barriers to getting the type of education that you deserve but may not have access to, and completely change the education game.
That's cool.
So I had an opportunity to introduce myself, and then they had an opportunity to go to my link tree and learn more about me. But in terms of submitting to a journal, there's a quote by Smith that says, "You submit a study to a journal, it enters a system that is effectively a black box, and then a more or less sensible answer comes out at the other end. The black box is like the roulette wheel, and the prizes and the losses can be big. For an academic publication in a major journal like Nature or Cell is to win the jackpot." And basically, that's exactly what it is when you are trying to always publish in a peer-reviewed journal. It goes into this abyss of review, and a lot of times, not even the researcher understands where the information ends up, or they have no idea where their data, raw data is, or how it's organized, how it's kept, on what servers. That's a whole other thing. But at this point, academics seem to be gatekeepers of a system with feudal knowledge castles and not humble knowledge gardeners. They have for over a century successfully organized, specialized, and built walls against error. As research grows, knowledge feudalism, like its physical counterpart, is a social advance that has had its day. So, the future of scholarship will not be built behind paywalls or locked in data silos. As researchers, we must ask ourselves, what are we hiding and who is being left behind when knowledge is not shared? I told this story about how I'm on several journal review committees for peer reviewed journals in technology, in chemistry. I've done it in education and across other disciplines. And what I have found is that by the time we actually approve the research, especially cutting bleeding edge research, it's so outdated that the only reason to publish it is because the person is looking to get tenure and needs a certain amount of publications, but not because the information is even relevant or necessary or useful. And that the work that they have done has probably, most likely, and a lot of times been duplicated, and the systems are outdated anyway. So we spend a lot of time in this very intricate innovation cycle. I know I do. Brainstorming, researching, developing, implementing, and reviewing. And this innovation cycle is continuous. You stay in loops of brainstorming for days at a time, research and validating concepts, developing prototypes or solutions, implementing these scenarios in real time, and actually refining it, reviewing it, and it starts all over again. So, this innovation cycle does not end. But what seems to be the bottleneck is that publication and peer review are outdated in terms of how this innovation cycle continues. And we want to get it right. So we have hollow tutors at Morehouse College that we use. I'm training faculty now in various departments across STEM and humanities in order to use Hollow Tutors to increase our capacity as faculty members and to make sure that our students have access to data. So, the interesting part is that students' workflow in this day and age is different. Students don't even Google information, they don't. Their workflow is TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, which is very interesting, or some other type of short reel that they can watch and glean information from, to then use that to go and Google, and then use that to go and do deeper research. So we in my generation say, Google that, you should Google that. These students do not Google anything. They're going to TikTok, they're going to look for the shortest reel, the clip, to get straight to the succinct point. They're also using ChatGPT or Claude, Anthropic, or Google Gemini, anywhere that they can get information that is already synthesized for them. There's several reasons why their workflow is good and advantageous because it allows them to glean knowledge faster, but it's also at a disadvantage because the resources that they get are all internet resources, and all of the good data is behind paywalls. And by behind paywalls, I mean these paid journal subscriptions with these large publishing companies that cannot be accessed without paying 39 to sometimes $139 in order to get one peer review article, or to get access to one book chapter, or to get access to a book. So, we have Hollow Tutor that is built over the OpenAI's large language model, but also provides opportunities for our faculty to put in the resources that they have cultivated over time to not just create lessons where you could have a 24/7 personalized learning plan through an AI teaching assistant, but also you can go through existing lessons and look over those lessons and see which ones you can pull up that other educators and professionals in a particular subject area have created. You can also create dialogues and back and forth conversations so that they can practice asking appropriate questions about a particular subject, or they can you can, as the professor, upload a PDF version of a peer-reviewed article that you want your students to read that they could then summarize. So I will show you what I mean by that. And that's what I chose to show in terms of a resource for our students. So we work with let me make sure that my sound is still going, because let's see. Okay. I work with Victory XR. I'm already logged in. So we're at hollowtutor.ai. And one of the things, like I said, you could create, build new AI experiences, explore existing lessons, discover conversations, or ask it anything right now and go to your own personalized AI tutor. Or you can open a textbook. Now, this is where you can upload any textbook. So you just go in and you can upload some peer-reviewed paper. I think the last one I did was on open source. I don't actually know who the author is, but when I go choose this PDF, I will find out who the author was. Open Process Academic Publishing. Open Process Academic Publishing. I got to try to keep that in my mind. Hold on. All right. So this is fairly simple. If I wasn't so tired, Open Process Academic Publishing. So Open Process Academic Publishing. Author Tony Prub. I could give a description, but I'm not right now. But you can give a description and you can put a cover image of it. No. Oh, I know what I'll do. We'll throw a paywall picture up there of the conference. This is the conference today. These are my wonderful colleagues. I'll throw this up here just because we were talking about open. Okay, so that's my cover image for it, and I can upload it. Now, it'll take a little while depending on the text in order for it to be uploaded, but majority of the time it's pretty fast, okay? But these are some documents that I already have up there. There's this Georgia Department of Education one about leveraging AI in the K-12 setting. There's a prompting guide by OpenAI, and it's already up there. You see it's processing this one. This OpenStack's chemistry book is just huge. I need to actually delete it because it's lagged right now. And then AI Teaching Assistants Unleashed is written by me. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to press view. And you have a textbook assistant, Robin. So it takes a while for it to download onto the browser. But once it's downloaded, well, once it's in the system, then you can do various things with your textbook, Hollow Tutor. I want my MacBook to stop connecting to my microphone on my phone. That would be very helpful. So I wrote this book, AI Teaching Assistants Unleashed. Reach out to me at Unite the Metaverse if you would like a copy, but it's a step-by-step guide to building intelligent learning companions. And so you can use your textbook assistant by highlighting a particular body of text. You can ask it to explain, summarize, define, read, or obviously you can copy and make a note. And you can highlight it in different colors. Different languages: Bengali, Chinese, simplified and traditional, Dutch, English, French, German, Hindi, Italian, Hebrew, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Spanish, Swahili. I was very excited about the Swahili. Turkish, Vietnamese, Arabic. All these languages it can read back to you. Since I only speak English, well, we're going to use English and we're going to just read the copy.
An AI teaching assistant, ATITA, is a digital artificially intelligent tool that supports educators by automating instruction, providing real-time student feedback, answering questions, and enhancing engagement through personalized learning experiences. Think of it as your co-teacher who works 24/7, never gets tired, and adapts to each learner's needs.
So not only can it read that, but it will summarize it for you.
An AI teaching assistant, AITA, is a digital tool that uses artificial intelligence to help educators by automating teaching tasks, offering real-time feedback to students, answering questions, and enhancing engagement through personalized learning. It acts like a tireless co-teacher that is available around the clock and adapts to individual learners' needs.
You can also have it explain that particular.
An AI teaching assistant, AITA, is a digital tool powered by artificial intelligence designed to aid educators. It automates educational tasks, such as delivering lessons and providing immediate feedback to students. It also answers questions and boosts student engagement by offering personalized learning experiences. Essentially, it functions like a co-teacher that is always available, tirelessly working and adapting to the unique needs of each student.
So that is very helpful when you're dealing with complex information and you want your students to be able to dissect a peer-reviewed paper. Now, this is a workbook that I created for faculty members about AI teaching assistants, but you can use a peer-reviewed paper like what we uploaded earlier, and hopefully it's processed um, so that you can kind of see it in real time. But it also speaks different languages. So I like this part. We'll try Swahili. Oh, and then you have to ask it to say read. So read.
Msaidizi wa kufundisha kwa AI, mafundisho kuwa ya kiotomatiki na kuongeza ushirikiano na kuongeza iwaze. Fikiria kama mwalimu wako mwenza ambaye anafanya kazi masaa 24/7, hajachoka kamwe, na anajifunza kuhudumia mahitaji ya kila mwanafunzi.
So it's read it in Swahili, and it can do that in several other languages. You can ask questions and it'll respond back to you. And it also gives you some suggested prompts as well. I'm going to go back so that you can see, so we can see if it's okay. So our one that we put up is actually processed. So we would press view on that one since we were talking about open research. So you have your journal article that is here, and let's just say, here's my black box description that I quoted from Smith that was in this paper. So let's read this quote out loud.
You submit a study to a journal. It enters a system that is effectively a black box, and then a more or less sensible answer comes out at the other end. The black box is like the roulette wheel, and the prizes and the losses can be big. For an academic, publication in a major journal like Nature or Cell is to win the jackpot. Smith, 2006.
All right. So let's have it explain that quote.
The quote describes the traditional academic publishing process as mysterious and unpredictable, comparing it to a black box. When a study is submitted to a journal, it enters this opaque system where the outcome is uncertain. Much like spinning a roulette wheel, the result can vary widely with potential significant gains or losses. Getting published in prestigious journals like Nature or Cell is seen as a major achievement, akin to winning a jackpot.
So it just gives you another explanation. If we keep going in the article, you can highlight any section of it. Once I can get my highlighter going. And you can ask it to explain, to read, to summarize. So say this is a large section of text. and I just want a summary of it.
Critics may view open process as unsuitable for academia, but a strong counterargument is that open processes have roots in academia, particularly within software and networking communities. Heemanen highlights that academics often pursue problems they find personally interesting, and it is the academic ethic, not law, that requires them to publish analyses and solutions for others to use and develop. Unlike business, where goals and methods are dictated by management, academia allows for self-selected autonomous teams. This aligns well with hacker ethics, making open process a logical fit for academic knowledge production.
So that gives them just a little bit of a summary of what was written versus if you have it explained, it'll go a little bit more in depth. But this is a way that you can get peer-reviewed papers in the hands of your students and have them be reading, be asking questions, using the suggested prompts. Like, how does open process specifically benefit interdisciplinary
Open
research?
process benefits interdisciplinary research by fostering greater collaboration and communication across fields. It promotes transparency and sharing of methodologies and findings, allowing researchers from different disciplines to build on each other's work more effectively. The openness encourages diverse perspectives and innovative solutions essential for tackling complex, multidisciplinary problems. Additionally, the autonomous, self-managed nature of teams in open process supports the flexibility and creativity often needed in interdisciplinary endeavors.
And so for a lot of students, just the process of allowing it to be able to speak to you, and you can ask questions through speaking. So I can ask it by and use the microphone. Um, how can open process be implemented effectively in a research team? How can open process be implemented effectively in a research team? Guess I didn't wait for it to prompt me. I can't really see, this toolbar is in the way from my StreamYard. So,
Implementing open process in a research team can be achieved through the following steps.
but you could also stop the response and go back and re-ask a response. I can't see my bottom screen, so this isn't really a great screen to be showing, but you can ask it anything, you can use the mic, you can type it in. It works wonders um, for students. So that was one of the things that I showed. Then we just talked about the confusion that happens in these closed publication systems, the hidden costs of closed research, the obstacles to innovation. Time is also a cost, so we talked about that. How open results accelerate impact, and just what are the results and what are the innovation impacts. And then just gave some strategies about Creative Commons, building these interdisciplinary partnerships, using open repositories to publish, and gave some some peer-reviewed papers to give you some practical strategies to be able to keep open the research and innovation that you do. But if innovation thrives on access, can we really afford to keep hiding our data? For me, no. I'm gonna fail forward every single time. I'm going to try to break every piece of technology and AI tools. I'm going to try and make sure that it is accessible and useful for faculty and students and staff. And so I'm asking my colleagues and my peers around the world to help me unlock the future with you together. And so that was basically what my talk was about. I am going to close out this session, but I just kind of wanted to dive in deep, and I can get lost on the hollow tutor and the textbook tutor, but I'm grateful for um, the support that I have from Terrence Martin, who believed in my ability to give this talk. The Woodruff Library and all their team is wonderful. You really should utilize them and leverage them if you can. And then obviously Morehouse College and Metaverse United, Victory XR, the AU Center Consortium, and CAU, because it made me. And I just appreciate you all taking the time to listen to me as I rant and talk and put to good use all this great information. I really do appreciate your support. And these are some of the actual full references for you to pause the screen and look at. But that is what we talked about. I'm gonna unshare. I don't even know if I was still sharing, to be honest now. It looks like maybe I was not still sharing. Interesting. But either way, you heard what I said. And I'll actually post the video, so that'd be cool. But anyway, I'm signing off for today. And I will talk to you later. Ciao. Hey, my good friend. Didn't I see you all day today at the library? I was just recapping my talk for the good people, um, so that they could understand what we're doing at the library and how y'all are gonna y'all been my best friends, but y'all my new good best friends now. So anyway, I will sign off now. Good night.